Good evening, FlossTube. Thank you for joining me here on Cheeky Mare Stitches. I'm Libby, or Cheeky, whichever you prefer. Sorry it's taken so long to get an update to you. I went on a retreat in August, and we've been crazy busy at work. And then my brother bought a house, so we have moved. And he had to get it all set up. Anyway, you're here to see my progress over August and September. I am ashamed, not really ashamed, but I'm sad to say that I don't have as much progress as I would have liked. At work, we are doing 46-hour a week mandatory overtime, and that has been taking up most of my time. So anyway, plus a new hobby that I will show you at the end. But anyway, so let's get started with August and September. There we go. So August and September whips, works in progress. The first one that I worked on is for my niece. It's a stocking called Father Christmas by Cooler Design Studios. You can get this as a PDF on the Cooler Design website. I think it's also on Everything Cross Stitch. It's on 28 count Phoenix by Zweigart, I believe. And it's the mostly called for DMC. This is where it was the last time you saw it. And do you see these 3 stitches here? Those are the bane of my existence. Do you see these 3 stitches here? Why, yes, you do. Guess what? They're the same 3 stitches. This right here, this little 5 stitches are these 5 stitches. So I was 7 stitches off on the chart. Wah, wah. So I had stitched in all the way around here and here and here and here, and then realized that the letters weren't going to line up. And I'm like, no. So I had to rip out. So when you see where I am now, it won't be as progressed as it probably should be, since I'm going to try and get this done this year. Probably won't, but try is better than not trying at all, right? So there's where it was the last time you saw it, I think in like January, and here it is now. Sorry, the lighting we are working on. So it's showing a little orange here, but it's more red than it is. I have all of the top done, all of the partial pages done, and I have now most of the toe done after ripping out a gajillion stitches. But you can see there's only one of those 3 stitches. Ugh. But it's gonna be very pretty once it's done. Although the next time I'm not going to let the mom or the parent pick the stocking, because full coverage is not my favorite thing in the world. But Madeline is worth it. So okay. So that was my whips for August and September. One whip. One. But August was my birthday month, and I decided that I turned 34 and I was going to do 3 new starts for my 34th birthday. So I succumbed a little bit, but it is what it is. This was my first new start. It is Let Your Hearts Be Troubled. Let not your hearts be troubled. It's by My Big Toe Designs. I did it on 46 count cream, and I did a Leo and Roxy and Color and Cotton conversion. So when Leo and Roxy came out with a floss that I just had to have, and you'll see why in a minute, I had to find something to do it with, right? And this is a small little sampler, so I figured, you know, for a birthday start, that it would be a good use of one of my birthday starts and be small enough to accommodate the floss that Leo and Roxy distributed when I decided I was going to do birthday starts. So there is no here where it was because it's the start. And it's also a finish. So this is my Leo and Roxy conversion and Color and Cotton. There's one Color and Cotton. And I converted it for two reasons. One, this red is more of the Methodist red, and I'm a Methodist, and this is a Bible verse, if you didn't know that. But the reason the floss that I got is that red, and it is called Cheeky. It's cheeky. I had to get it, right? Right? And so what I paired with it, the large amount of brown is Plum Shadow, also by Leo and Roxy. And then the little vines in the flowers is a Color and Cotton Fawn, which is not showing up very well. We are going to fix the lighting, I swear. Here we go. Anyway, so I finished it and I pulled some threads and I'm going to mount it on this piece of walnut. That is the leftover piece from a memorial project that I did for my uncle when he died. So it's kind of, and it's like, it was made for this piece, because when I fold it over, it's almost perfect. So my next new start is Sunrise by Rosewood Manor. I love most of her designs. They're just gorgeous. And I know in the middle of February, I get really blue and I need some pretty colors and sunrises and stuff. So in a couple of months, when I'm feeling depressed, I'll pull this out and feel less depressed. Anyway, so this has been a really fun stitch. I liked, before I was a cross stitcher, I was a needle pointer, still kind of am. I haven't picked it up since my Aunt Susie died, but the bands in this particular piece remind me of a band sampler that I did with in needlepoint, and maybe I'll find a picture and have Daniel insert it. My brother insert it for me, but here is where I am. So I'm using 46 Count Peony by Bestitch Me, and it was a monthly fabric club, and I'm using the called for weeks. And here is more of how true it is. So it's more that pink. It's a little bit brighter, but it's hard to tell with the lighting situation here. But isn't that gorgeous? Having a lot of fun doing the different bands. It's pleasing to my bored. I get bored and want to do something else kind of mentality. So very pretty. I love it. And my third new start for my 34 is Hope is Greater Than Fear by Forbidden Fibers. It's on 40 count kit, and I think it's Primrose, if I'm not mistaken, which is apt because it's the Hunger Games. And it's also the called for kit floss. So I think she still has a few kits available on her site. I am not affiliated with her, but a lot of her stuff is really pretty. And some of her overdyes are really unique. I bought a couple extra of Nightshade because I really liked it. It's kind of a purpley brown. It's this bird right here, Mockingjay. Anyway, so, and I just love all of both of the whips that I started for my birthday. 2 of the 3 whips have sentiments on it that I've kind of needed in the past couple of months. So I really liked this. Okay, so here's where I am now. Got almost middle motif almost done, and I just have some fill-in of the Mockingjay. And this is a very interesting, like, pink that has a little bit of green undertones, and you're not really getting the full beauty right now with the lighting the way it is. But when you move to a new location, you troubleshoots, right? But it's been very nice to stitch on. And the fun thing about the kit is she gives you enough if you're doing it on 40 count. I don't know about other. She gives you enough to like have a whole nother project on this. And I'm all about having fabric that you can put another project on once you're done. So this has been really fun, a really fun stitch, and kind of mindless when I'm filling in, which has been nice too. Okay, I did stitch on one more thing this month, a little bit, and it's the Sal that I'm doing with Caroline from Off the Grid Needle Arts, and it's Spring Quaker by Rosewood Manor. Like Rosewood. It's on a 36 count fortnight fabric. It's a monthly, it's 1/2. Oh, I'm sorry. All of my whips and new starts have been 1/2, except for the stocking. It's 2/2. So sorry, I'm out of practice with FlossTube. It is the Leo and Roxy conversion. If you'd like to join our Sal, it's on hashtag L and R Spring Quaker Sal. And Caroline does have the flosses still. Here is the conversion if you hadn't seen it. And Caroline always says that it's a start along with her. And I honestly didn't get a whole lot of progress on this, but I wanted to put a few stitches in. I did take it to my retreat in Texas, but I was so tired from driving to Texas from Indiana that I just didn't feel much like stitching. I just wanted to sit and talk to the people at the retreat. So that's what I did. Shame on me, but oh, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I don't have a progress, like, I didn't snap any pictures, which is another shame on me, but, you know, you'll forgive me, right? Okay, so here is where I am now. And these Leo and Roxy flosses just look pretty in any light. But I finished this motif. I started this little motif, and I started this motif right here. And I believe I'm still pretty far ahead of Caroline, which is fine. No pressure. All right, so when I'm not at work, I have been splitting my time between stitching, a little bit of quilting, and my new hobby, which is weaving. I did buy a loom, and here's what I started. It is called a clasp weave, which means you take one yarn all the way through the warp, which is what these threads are. The vertical threads are called warp. You take one of the pretty yarns all the way through, and then you wrap another of the pretty yarns around, and then you pull it back through, and the two yarns kind of clasp together. And then you move the weaving back and forth to make these kind of random pretty designs. And I've used yarns by You and Dye. Intermittent Frivolity is the light, almost neutral, and Dusk is the very variegated, but beautiful sunset colors. That's another theme. I had the Rosewood Manor Sunrise. And it's just, these two yarns have just been beautifully working together. And this is my first official weaving, so there are a few mistakes, but I think it's going to be very pretty, and it's going to be a scarf when it's done. And the nice thing about weaving is if you make a mistake and you decide you don't like what you've woven, you can you can cut the warp and just unweave and reuse the yarn. And it's not as much of work that you've wasted as knitting, because I've tried knitting and it's not for me. More power to you if it is. It's not for me. My hands hurt and too much. I lose my spot too. I just have problems. I have problems. And so this weaving has been like, I did this top area in like a half hour. So it's much quicker than knitting or crocheting. So if I get to the end of this and I take it off the loom and I don't really like it because of the mistakes that I've made, that's okay. It was a good experience, and I can reuse the yarn. So, and I just love these yarns. You should go. You and Dye has an Etsy shop. I am also not affiliated with her, but she's a very nice lady. I think she dyes out of Florida. I think one of the southern states. It might be Alabama, but I'm not sure. And her yarns are just so pretty and like soft and really good. I bought some warp, what is it called? Tencel. And because I was scared that the yarn would break under the really high tension that the warp has to go under. And I did the tension test, and it turns out I didn't necessarily need to buy the special warp Tencel. So if this scarf doesn't work out very well, I can use this yarn as the warp next time and do a different pattern, which will give me some more experience in weaving. So it's very pretty, and the loom was a little bit expensive, but it was my birthday, so I used birthday money. And so it's not super cheap to get started, but it is really quick. Like, you could make a scarf in 12 hours, if you really needed it. It was really cold, so it's been fun experience. And I like how the variegations and the two strands of yarn kind of play together in the same row. It's very neat. So anyway, I am so close. At the time of this recording, I was 455 subscribers. And if I get 500, come on guys, 500. If I can get 500, I will do a giveaway for a I'll get a giveaway of some sort. I've got some stash that I'm looking to downsize, or I could do a what's it called? 1, 2, 3 stitch. I am so rusty. Wow, 2 months makes you forget all the things you've learned. But I could do a 1, 2, 3 stitch giveaway as well, where I take your wish list, an item or two off your wish list, and send it to you. So let me know in the comments below which one you'd prefer. I've got some stash, or I've got a 1, 2, 3 stitch giveaway. And share, subscribe, please. Love me. That's narcissistic a little bit. That's okay. That's okay. All right. So that's it for me today. And I will see you next month. Hopefully I have some more progress. I might even try to do the FFO. And I'll have this scarf done, and maybe I'll wear it. So I hope you had a good time watching the video, and join me later on. Have a wonderful weekend and have fun. Make good decisions. Love ya. Bye.